I'm gonna stand when they
Hey, what it do, sports world?
see.
Welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Bud Crawford. Should the undisputed welterweight champion Terence Bud Crawford give Errol Spence the Truth Spence a rematch at 154 or demand that he fight again at 147? Now, this right here is a very interesting topic because of all the negotiation that's going around right now and all the oh my god, this situation right here is mind-boggling because I've heard every excuse in the world to why Errol Spence lost this fight. Errol Spence lost this fight because he was fighting against a more superior boxer, which was Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford has been telling Errol Spence from the beginning that he was going to do what he did in the ring to him, but nobody wanted to listen, not even Errol Spence. So now Errol Spence is trying to demand a rematch be at 154. Now, this is my only issue with the rematch. I mean, do I want to see a rematch? No, I don't want to see a rematch. Not at 154, not at 147, because I think that I saw all I needed to see in the first fight. Terence Crawford pretty much dominated this man over 9 rounds. He knocked him down in the second round. He knocked him down twice in the seventh round, and he finished him in the ninth round. Honestly, it should have been finished in the seventh round. I think the ref waited way too long to stop this fight. So what else do I need to see? I don't need to see no more out of these two fighters. I've seen all I need to see. But see, Errol Spence, he's letting his pride get in the way because I saw him on 24/7. He was telling his son, and I respect that. He was telling his son, I got to get my leg back. Now, why fight at 154 though? Why make an excuse for a weight that you've been at your whole career? Now he's saying that the weight was definitely an issue. Okay. Now, if you would have won, I wonder what weight would have been the issue. And let me call out these Earl Spence fans. First, they came up, they said that Terence Crawford had loaded gloves. Yeah, he had them knuckles in there. They are loaded. Then they say he took PED. The dude from Nebraska, man, the country boy, man. They strong down there. Come on, man, them boys cock strong. What do you need to take PED for? Then they said that Errol Spence was drained. I keep Thurman. Oh man, you didn't beat the real Errol Spence. You beat this guy right here because that wasn't the real Errol Spence. Well, I'll tell you this then. Want the real Errol Spence? Please stand up. Please stand up. What a real Errol Spence said. So you knew that the weight would be an issue. So why agree to that weight? Because you was daring to be great. You want to be undisputed, welterweight champion of the world, and that didn't happen. Now you want to move up to 154, so he can move up to 154. What's the point of fighting at 154? What? We just fighting? Let's talk about what happened the first fight. The first fight that was generated reportedly 700,000 pay-per-view buys, generated over 59 million in revenue, and it generated a 20 million in ticket sales. So, do you think that a second fight is going to generate this type of numbers? I'm gonna predict the second fight would generate probably maybe I'm pushing 150,000 buys. Just being honest, because basically, who want to see a second fight? This right here was billed the fight of the century, and for it to be that lopsided, who really want to watch these two fight again? Nobody really want to watch these two fight again. Not even I don't even think Terence Crawford is even motivated to even fight Errol Spence again. Whether it's at 147 or whether it's at 154. I think he'll beat him at either way. But of course, Errol Spence fans gonna come and say, well, I think at 154 he can defeat him. He can't beat him at no. What we saw in the middle of that ring was talent. That was more superior boxer. It ain't got nothing to do with the weight. Yeah, was he drained? Well, hell, was he drained against Ugas? Was he drained when he fought against everybody else that was at welterweight that he defeated? He nicknamed himself the Eye Snatcher because he was closing eyes. But then the first sign of defeat, the first thing he jumped back to was the weight. Oh, of course, I'm not gonna make no excuse, but you is making an excuse though. You saying that the weight drained you. You've been at welterweight your whole fucking career. So why the hell is it draining you now? Just saying. You should have been moved up. No, but you was crippled. This is why you was crippled, because you had a homeboy at 154 that you didn't want to fight, which was one of your stablemates. At 160, you had another one of your homeboys. You know what I'm saying? And I think 168, I just don't think you want to fight at 168. So you basically was crippled from the beginning, Errol Spence. It wasn't nobody's fault, but it was your own fault. And that's why you stayed at 147. You knew you wanted Terence Crawford, but you didn't know that you was getting into a ring with a superior boxer, a boxer that was going to make you look the way you look. And now you're trying to make every excuse in the book. If I'm Terence Crawford, you give me, hey, I'm taking, you said what you say in the interview with what you said in that interview. You said that, hey, he going to take whatever we give him, whether we give him 60-40 or we give him 70-30. Well, guess what? The table has turned. You going to take whatever we give you. If we give you 70-30, you going to take that. If we tell you the rematch, now in the rematch, in the clause, in the rematch contract, it said that the winner of the first fight will be able to pick the weight where they fight at for a second fight. So why is Errol Spence fans so mad that Terence Crawford is saying that he might, I'll tell you what, we'll do a catch weight, 148. Because if I'm not fighting for no belts, what the hell I'm fighting for? What am I fighting at 154 for? What are we going to 154? What are we fighting for? We ain't no belts on the line, so we just fight. I'm the undisputed champion. Why the hell would I go to another weight class to fight you for nothing? No. We're going to fight either for these belts or we're not going to fight at all. And if I do come to 154 and fight you for nothing, I'm going 70-30. You can take 30%, I'm going to take 70. You gave me an opportunity, yes. I appreciate that. But the way I made you look that first fight, come on, man. You don't deserve a second chance. You see what I'm saying? That's just like cheating and think you're supposed to get a second chance. No. In some senses, you might deserve a second chance. But in this sense, the way you got beat up, it's like you cheated 3 times. You cheated 3 times. Because you got knocked down 3 times and you got stopped. That's 4 times. Cheated 4 times. Come on, man. You don't deserve a second chance. So with that being said, I don't think that Terence Crawford should fight Errol Spence again because nobody want to see the fight. Nobody want to see it. Nobody want to see them two fight again. We already saw it. We seen what all we need to see. What can this man change in his boxing in his boxing bag? What can he pull out of his box in his tool bag that's gonna make this result be different? What? You go into a second fight and you lose a unanimous decision? Okay. We'll clap for that. Cool. But what? We can't just, I know for a fact that this fight is not going to change to a fact where you go in there and you win a fight with the way you looked at that first fight. You just can't beat this man. It's not going to happen. You can't beat him. Sometimes you just got to take the L and go with it. Take the L, hold the L close to your chest, and just live with it. That's what you got to do, Errol. And it's your own fault because you was the one who wanted to fight Terence Crawford at 147. You stayed at 147. Now you get destroyed. Now you want to move up to 154. Well, I can't beat him at 147. Let's see, can I move up to 154 and beat him? No, that's not the way boxing works. You lose at one weight, I dictate what the next fight is. Okay, you want to win? You want to fight at the next weight class? Pay me more money because I'm putting because Most likely, I'm gonna have to lose my belt because I'm not fighting against Boot Enos. I'm not fighting against Boots. So I'm gonna have to lose my title to go up here to 154 to fight you. Honestly, I'm the shot caller in this right here. And honestly, I really don't see a reason to fight you. If the first fight were close, then I'd be like, okay, yeah. Hey, Terence Crawford, you need to give Errol Spence a second chance. You need to. It's only right. But bro, you can't lose a TKO. You can't get TKO'd and then think that, oh, I'm gonna come back better or I deserve a rematch. Bro, you don't deserve a rematch. When have y'all ever seen Canelo TKO somebody and then get a rematch? When have you ever seen Floyd Mayweather TKO somebody, stop somebody, and give them a rematch? So why is all these boxers crying about Errol Spence getting a rematch? Y'all ain't never cried about nobody else getting a rematch. But see, that's the problem that I got. See, I'm happy that Errol Spence, I'm happy that Terence Crawford finally got all the power. That boy finessed Al, because what he did was he brought Errol Spence away from Al Heyman, because Al Heyman would have told him. Al Heyman would have told him the truth. Listen, don't fight this guy. If you do fight him, you need to get the most money just in case. Because that's what Al Heyman do. But see, Errol Spence got ahead of himself. He wanted to negotiate this by himself. Terence Crawford, he got the money that he wanted. He got everything that he wanted in the contract. And then he went out there with Eminem, brought him out and destroyed the man. So now and then he went to PBC and did all of this. Now he's his own boss. He ain't up under nobody. Terence Crawford ain't up under nobody. Now he can make the shot. He can call whatever shot that he want to call. If he want to, and what I think, this is what I think Terence Crawford is doing. I think Terence Crawford is waiting on who? The winner out of that Canelo and Charlo fight. Whether Charlo wins or lose, depending on how good he looked. Because if he looked good in that fight and it's a close fight, I can see them doing a rematch. But if Canelo come in there and destroy him, I can see him go back down to 154 and defend that title against Terence Crawford. Or I can see, depending on how Canelo and Charlo goes, the winner of that fight against Terence Crawford for Undisputed at 2 weight classes. At 154 and 160. No, that can't happen. But it sounds good. Anyway, I can see them going in one of those weight classes, which I would think Charlo would want Crawford to come up to 160, well, 168 and fight for Undisputed instead of fighting at 154. Because honestly, I think Terence Crawford 154, that's nothing. But I think 168 would be a bigger challenge for Terence Crawford, being that Charlo walks around at 168. He's a naturally 160, 168. He just fight at 154. So I can see that happening. But I think that Terence Crawford is sitting around waiting to see who wins that fight versus, Charlo and Canelo. Because think about it, y'all. Just close your eyes for a second. Think about it. Crawford versus Canelo. Man, that can be that can be a fight. That's going to be one of the biggest fights in history, because now you finally got somebody that's going to step in that ring that can actually outbox Canelo, like Floyd Mayweather did it. You see, like Terence Crawford is on the Floyd Mayweather trajectory. He's on that type of trajectory when you speak on boxers. He got that type of talent, that type of well-rounded talent. So when we think about it, right, like, man, dude, Canelo versus Crawford. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford for Undisputed at 168. Man, that sounds so good. It sounds real good. And depending on what happens September 30th with Canelo and Charlo, I think that right there is the route that Terence Crawford is going to take. Because think about this now. What I'm thinking long term of what Terence Crawford is thinking. He's 35 years old right now. He's 40-0. He wants to become undisputed in his third weight class. And if he can do that, think about this. I think that that's right there would be his biggest money fight. And I think that he's looking to get out. I don't think he's going to stay to go 50-0 like Floyd. I give him maybe 4, 3, 4, 5 max more fights in him that I think that Terence Crawford will fight. I think he gets to 45 fights. That's about it. And I think he's going to walk out. I think these next 5 fights, he's trying to cash out. And who's the cash cow? Canelo. That's the fight. I think that he's hoping that Canelo wins. I kind of think he wants Charlo to win as well. Because I think that Charlo versus Crawford for Undisputed at 154 with the beef that they had, that's a must-see TV. But over here, we also got Canelo versus Crawford. We all want to see that as well. Because Canelo is considered the face of boxing. I'm going to just say, hey, I am so happy. And I cannot wait till September 30th to where I get a chance to watch these two fighters finally step inside that square box, that square circle, well, that square, and finally go at it. I'm going to give y'all my prediction in the next few weeks. Well, in the next week, because the fight is like next weekend. Don't be surprised by my prediction. And also, I want to talk about, also in another segment, I want to talk about what the hell is going on between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. Like, and Frank Martin. Like, what is going on? Hell, where is Gervonta Davis? What the hell this dude at? He got out of jail and he just disappeared. I got Shakur Stevenson over here going back and forth with Devin Haney about how much money was offered. I got Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson going back and forth about how much money was offered. Like, they all over the place when I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna do an episode with these three and what the heck is going on between them. All right. So make sure y'all tune in for that episode as well, man. Hey, and again, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast here with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, peace. And y'all make sure y'all have a great work day. All right. Be safe out there, y'all. Peace.